Yeah, he was. I'm pretty sure at one point, for a good 3 minutes, he would roam. They'd clear the wave. He'd roam mid, do his thing in the mid lane, and then, by the time the wave comes back, he'd already be back in the bot lane.
All right, we are here into Champion Select for Game 2 of the Fire Chickens versus Dolo Gang, who is now on the blue side. So I need to switch this real quick.
Switch it.
From blue side to red side.
Comes out. Yeah. The S band coming out. Pretty good for the the S jungle. I think is really strong right now. Probably just don't want to see it. The Ari band again coming out from Fire Chickens. Does she swear? Does she play a lot of Ari?
That would be targeted at Silverman. Or targeted at swear she was level 18, okay.
Yeah. I don't see too many Ari bands, which is
Ari games? Yeah, I don't either.
Not sure if that's just a...
If that's general, or maybe some inside information on what he's been practicing?
Yeah, interesting that they would ban that, but...
Yeah, but bans coming out the same here. Up until this part, Sejuani banned out by Dolo Gang. Don't want to see Jadkens on that again, and Gensh might not play it.
Yeah, I don't... He doesn't really play Sej, so maybe that's why they didn't want to... They just didn't want to deal with it. It'd be interesting to see who they do pick up as their first pick. The last ban... And the Rengar. So... Pretty interesting. Jadkens, the Fire Chickens don't really have to change much. Maybe they didn't feel too pressured by anything that the other team played. The other team, Dolo Gang.
Yeah. We'll see if they come to regret that decision, though. The Varus locked in early for Trig here on the side of Dolo Gang, looking for that utility AD carry that he can provide.
That's an interesting pick because he is rather immobile, and I think you could easily draft to kind of abuse it.
Yeah, I think Shanabot would be happy on the Tristana in this matchup if he's able to get it before the next ban phase.
Yeah, the Jarvan, exactly.
Perhaps looking for an extremely heavy CC team comp on the side of Dolo Gang, picking up that Varus. But yeah, the Alistar will go back over to Djox and the Jarvan, either for Jadkens or something stinks in the top lane.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of CC on both sides.
It's another interesting thought. Jadkens doesn't really play too much as. I mean, Shanabot has a couple games, but not in a while.
Interesting. Morgana picked up here. Most likely for young Dolo in the bot lane.
Yeah, I think that's a good pickup. I mean, the one problem with Morgana is that you can't really CC the terrain from Jarvan.
Yeah, you just have to try and CC the initial knockup and hope that Varus has a slash available. But yeah, it will be the Tristana again for Shanabot here. Pretty happy on that champion.
Mm-hmm.
And going to be able to dodge out of Varus ultimate if he's able to time it properly. So in the second ban phase here, coming out from Fire Chickens.
Yeah, so they're gonna.
It's gonna be the Jace.
Ban. Is that a Mr. Solo Dolo specialty?
It must be. They're fearful after seeing his Galio play. Fearful of the Jace.
Yeah.
And the Galio actually banned out by Dolo Gang this time. Most likely don't want to play it and don't want to give it over.
I agree with Wafritz. I apologize if I'm butchering that. Yeah, I think if they have a better macro play this time, I think they will take it over.
Yeah, their macros and lane assignments and some of those decisions were questionable, but their individual play was definitely not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Will be again the Fiora ban coming out, targeted at Mr. Solo Dolo, so a lot of top lane bans coming out in this ban phase. We'll see what Dolo Gang decides to take off the table.
Fiora was. Some of these bans are a little questionable. I mean, it's not that he doesn't play Fiora, but it just seems like he has more games on other top lane champions. I wonder how they're... maybe they, like you said, they want to play a tank and don't want to deal with
the Fiora matchup.
With the Fiora in the top lane, yeah.
Yeah, definitely something that can get abused and take over the game, but the Taliyah here being hovered by Silvermane, so another one of these roaming mid laners, and we're going to see if he makes good use of it.
Yeah, I'd expect there to be more plays in the bot lane this time. Really want to get Silvermane ahead.
And running the same bot lane on the side of Fire Chickens here, but the Ryze picked up in response to the Taliyah. What do you know about this matchup?
Ryze versus Taliyah. Ryze is a bully in any lane, and I'd imagine that he, if swears she was level 18, if he can play Ryze well, I think he's going to really take over this mid lane and put Taliyah pretty far behind. At least in the mid game, I think early Taliyah has a lot of wave, a lot of pushing power, and can kind of force Ryze to farm, to use mana to farm, which is going to set him back a little bit. But I think once the mid game, once he gets tier and maybe Catalyst, I think it's going to really go in his favor.
And Mr. Solo Dolo here, his pool is pinched pretty tightly, and he was forced to blind pick his top laner. Chose to go with the Renekton. The response from Something Stinks will be the Darius.
Kind of tough. Note again that the Fire Chickens, their only AP damage is Taliyah.
Yeah, and they will have the Rammus and the Renekton here stacking a lot of armor, you would have to assume.
Yeah. So interesting to see kind of what happens. Trying to think of who, I think the early game likely goes to the side of Fire Chickens. Darius is going to have a lot of pressure in the early game. Taliyah with the pushing power, and Jarvan just his early roams are catastrophic. He can easily do the level 2 gank in bot lane if he does decide to do that. He can do the buff in the top lane. Force a couple flashes, but and then once again, Shaunabot and Djok showing that they can really handle themselves even in unfavorable matchups.
And one thing I do want to point out about the early game is that Rammus is incredibly good at ganking immobile laners, and they've picked Taliyah and Darius. So that's definitely two lanes that Rammus is going to be looking to get the early advantage in, especially when Renekton and Ryze have their own CC to follow up.
Say it again? I missed a part of that.
Oh, I was saying Rammus loves ganking immobile laners, and they've picked the Taliyah and the Darius. So Rammus likely going to be looking for early ganks with the follow-up CC from Ryze and Renekton.
Very true. I mean, the one problem with the Darius is after level 6, it's kind of, Darius is one of those champs that doesn't even mind doing a 2v1 because, the Q gives him more heal. Where he just has to get some people somewhat low, and then he can ulti both. I think the Taliyah, in my opinion, I know Wafritz is saying
to focus that top lane.
To focus the top lane. Me personally, I would focus Taliyah. I think if you focus Taliyah, you take a lot of pressure off the map. She's not going to be, or she's probably not going to want to roam if she's behind. She's not going to have that same amount of pressure. Plus, being the only AP threat, once again, it's going to put Rammus really far ahead, give him the advantage. I could definitely see the advantage of putting Renekton ahead. He does, if he does get far enough ahead, I think he could bully the Darius pretty easily and kind of be that split push threat to bring a lot of pressure to the top lane, kind of relieve some of the pressure from bot lane. But I think it also depends on who they think has, as a player, who they think can carry the game a little bit harder.
Yeah, Renekton is really one of those Sword's Edge champions, either being very useful and getting fed early on, or completely useless in the late game. Kind of like the Kha'Zix that we saw. Got behind early and wasn't able to make an impact, so We'll have to see
Yeah.
if Renekton can hold his own against the Darius, or if he'll call for some ganks from Gensh.
That's true. The one good thing though is, Renekton can at least be that tank. He does, after Black Cleaver, he could just build defensive items, and he has the stun, which is pretty good. But then, once again, like, the damage part is not really there.
And Ryze early on likely going to get shoved in by the Talia, but once he gets a couple levels and some more mana, she's going to have a hard time pushing that lane into roam. You have to think.
Yeah. Very true.
So great pickup there.
Yeah, also interesting to note that Ryze can also do those the roams. I mean, not as powerful, or I guess the range is a lot shorter. But he could also roam with the Jarvan, with the Rammus, just appear in the middle of the lane or even on their tower.
Yeah, definitely. And we have to point out some of these skins coming out. The Renekton toy, the Alistar with the cowbell. We got everything coming out this game. So.
Oh, this is no hold bars.
Yeah, everyone putting out their best skins. All right, are you around 10, 11, 12, 13?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. So we see here the barrier on Varus and the heal on the Morgana here, so that's super safe summoner spell bot lane on the side of Dolo gang. Meanwhile, on Fire Chickens, we have the Ignite for Alistar once again. And also, all 5 members of Fire Chickens about to meet up with Trig here. Looks like they will just get some poke on him. Won't be able to commit fully.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Good catch, though, to see them coming in.
Yeah, good positioning by him to not get caught out in that bush. So it looks like they will take this opportunity on the side of Dolo gang and get some deep wards. Definitely trying to track Jadkens early on.
Minions have spawned.
Oh.
So once again, Shanabot opting into this Doran shield start versus the Doran's Blade of Trig. Going to be more of a passive laning phase, you'd have to think. Although last game it was pretty explosive.
Yeah, the Trist really probably just looking for a safe lane. Shanabot, like we said, just once it gets into that late game, doesn't really care too much about the early game, and I think also relies on Alistar on Djox to take a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Djox is going to definitely have a harder time setting up all of those little skirmishes in lane against the Black Shield Morgana.
Yeah.
So I think it was a great counter pick here on the side of Young Dolo.
definitely.
Recognizing that, they had the advantage in lane last game, but they weren't able to win, so changing something up and seeing how that goes.
Slight trading. Both teams in the bot lane looking to push to that level 2.
Yeah, a little bit late there. Oh, the flash pulverized and the headbutt on Young Dolo here, but they won't be able to get anything from it. Actually catching Djox in the Dark Binding, and we'll get a lot of harass onto him.
Wow, good trade from Dolo gang. It kind of looked like they got caught out a little bit, but able to kind of take advantage of that.
Yeah, and I know the Black Shield came out there, but did it go on Trig or did it go on Young Dolo?
No, she didn't get black. She
didn't get You're right. She has Dark Binding on her pool.
Yep.
Yeah, so Alistar gonna have about 1 more level's worth, but here comes Gensh. Will not catch him in time. The taunt goes down, but Jadkens is here as well. Mr. Solo Dolo with a great AoE attack there, though. Both top laners also opting into that Doran shield, so we'll be able to heal up pretty quickly. And once again, Jadkens just keeping tabs on Gensh and making sure that he can never pull off these ganks.
Yeah, good, good like counter gank multiple times. Interesting, bot lane actually has the advantage right now. you know, on fire. Sorry, Dolo gang doing a really good job of poking down Triss and creating that.
Yeah, even trying to harass him while he tries to farm under tower, taking him very low.
Yeah. I think this is actually a pretty good answer to the Morgana.
Yeah, the Morgana binding's also setting up Varus to hit those piercing arrows every time. Once he has the mana and the ranks in it. So very confident in that Varus pick, picking it in the very first pick on blue side.
Yeah.
Jadkens has arrived in the mid lane, but has Gensh nearby, so we'll be able to back off safely. Oh, looks like Gensh might want some of this? No. Instead, Swear She Was level 18, takes the long way and loses pretty much the entire wave. Ooh, Mr. Solo Dolo pulled into tower, will take a little bit of harass. Like we said,
kind of has that gold lead.
Yeah, has been able to get the farm lead. Oh, Shanabot forced to jump out, but yeah, really looking for the Darius to gain kill pressure once he gets that ultimate at level 6.
Rammus doing a good job though of being kind of on multiple sides of the map. He's kind of already showed himself in all 3 lanes.
Yeah, definitely. Keeping up with Jadkens and making sure that Jadkens isn't able to pull off that early aggression he looked for on Jarvan.
Yeah.
They have about a minute left where Djox does have that flash down from his early engage in case they want to try once again in the bot lane. But Gensh taken really low on these golems will have to recall. Ooh, good dodge there by Swear She Was level 18, almost getting caught out by the Tectonic Disruption, I want to say. Talia skill names are all really strange.
Yeah.
Something stinks here, leveling up to 6. Maybe looking for the all-in. Mr. Solo Dolo will respect him though.
Yeah, you can tell he's pretty far back. And it's interesting. I mean, the wave is going totally, or I guess the fight is going totally opposite of the Gnar into. You know, before Something Stinks was kind of pretty far behind on the Gnar pick, and this time it's Mr. Solo Dolo kind of getting the end of it, the short stick.
Yeah, especially on the Renekton, you would hope he would be able to get some of this earlier, the CS, but getting counterpicked and had to blind pick his top laner. And you can see here, Something Stinks recalling and picking up the Phage. Just going to be looking to harass Mr. Solo Dolo even more.
And not having to blow Telly either, right? He's just walking back, which is gonna be a lot of pressure for the bot lane.
Yeah, especially if he's able to keep shoving these waves and force the teleport out of Mr. Solo Dolo. But Djox goes in here, Black Shield coming out, great Dark Binding onto Shanabot, the damage not able to come through.
Yeah.
And we have Jadkens here waiting in the top lane, but Gensh also nearby once again.
Yeah, I think Jadkens was spotted out.
Ooh, another great Dark Binding lands onto Djox. Is not quite level 6, so won't be able to clear that CC on himself.
Oh, good poke from Ryze.
Oh, good harass coming out. Like Something Stinks there. Mr. Solo Dolo actually with the level advantage now, though.
Yeah, but the item disadvantage, he did not buy yet.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh, we have the ultimate coming out. Silvermane forcing the flash out of Trig and also getting first blood onto young Dolo here. Great play from Silvermane. We wondered if he was going to roam this game, and the answer is yes.
Yeah,
As we
very good roam on his part.
Yeah. Yeah, as we say, the Talia pretty much built to roam. Her ultimate can't be used for much else. Unless you're trying to protect a tower, so good job on Silvermane there. Not having to blow any summoners for Fire Chickens and getting the flash out of Trig and the first blood. Jadkens spending a lot of time in this top lane, really trying to snowball something stinks on the Darius, but not finding anything.
It's interesting to, that he'd be, I guess not interesting, but trying to protect the Darius to make sure that he can, if they both go even, I think Darius is still gonna, if they both go even, Darius will win in the late game. And I think maybe that's what he's just trying to let happen, to let Darius be able to kind of be a split push pressure himself.
And as you mentioned earlier, teleport advantage going in favor of Fire Chickens here. Mr. Solo Dolo teleporting to lane.
Yeah.
Silvermane poking his head around bot lane once again, but not able to find anything.
We haven't seen Rammus do too much, kind of after that first couple ganks, but is forming up pretty well. He has the advantage over Jarvan.
Yeah, I'll take a quick look at the gold here. Yeah, he is up about 300 gold. The gank comes in though.
And he goes in.
Jadkens using the ultimate, does not have the flash ability because he used it last time, and 4 bombs going off, and there goes the kill to Shanabot. Ooh, jumping in once again. We'll get some harass on a young Dolo, but great job by Jadkens recognizing that what's his name, Varus had no flash.
Yep.
Here comes Gensh. We'll taunt up Jadkens, but just saying
down
hello.
Some poke.
Yeah.
This is one of those problems with having the that immobile carries. You don't really have, can't really do too much.
Ooh, good poke going on down here for D-Jock. D-Jock's
Wow,
taken pretty
Rammus.
low. We'll flash
my
in and secure the
God.
kill. Wow.
That was really well done. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, so in a bot lane that was going heavily in favor of Fire Chickens at this point, picks up the kill onto D-Jock.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you were saying, the Varus first picked again, so that was the immobile carry. Oh, here goes the ghost coming out from Swears. Will dodge. Ooh.
Interesting ulti.
Yeah, all summoner spells used there, probably out of panic, but takes down Silvermane in the end.
Yeah. I'd say worth it anyways.
Yeah, definitely worth, because they traded all summoner spells. But yeah, so J4 picked up in response to that immobile Varus. Pretty good pickup in the end, paying off there. And although Mr. Solo Dolo didn't getting bullied out, still keeping up decently in CS. And here comes Gensh for the gank. Ooh, something's hiding in his minion wave, but a lot of damage coming out of this Rammus. We'll force the flash, but flash is available on Mr. Solo Dolo. Jadkens is on his way too.
Jadkens is on his way, yep.
Looks like, yeah, something stinks will get out for the flash. Yeah. Silvermane does have his ultimate available again. Might be looking to go back bot lane. Yeah, looks like he is on his way, but they do have it warded, so...
They have vision of this, they're just not looking at the minimap right now.
Yeah, just getting caught out here. Or maybe looking to fight it, but Shanabot here. Gonna get caught in the ultimate, but no. Double kill for Shanabot, taking down both Trig and Young Dolo. Great roam once again from Silvermane.
Yeah, really good roam. And this is the, you can kind of tell, like, I think if you're gonna play an immobile carry, I think they're pushing a little bit too hard. They're kind of always stuck in that mid lane, in the middle or closer to the red side.
Yeah, especially when that flash cooldown was still not quite there for Varus, so it has nothing to do in this situation.
Yep.
Take a quick look at the AD carry gold. Here we got 5100 compared to 3600. So Shanabot about 1500 in the lead. That's a complete BF sword.
That's really far ahead.
Yeah. He does have that static shiv completed once again. Going to be looking to farm up in whatever lane he chooses to go to.
Yeah, and letting D-Jocks do some roaming. Maybe create some plays on this rise. Or maybe even in top lane if he feels daring.
Yeah,
he's walking there
he's
now.
Walking that way. He did pick up the Moby boots as well. So the only thing that's really going right on the side of Dolo Gang at this point would be the Rammus and the Rise. Once again, the Rammus headed top. Jadkens waiting in the wings though, will come in. Ultimate available, goes down, and Djox, like we mentioned, here for the roam. Gench will fall. Ooh, Mr. Solo Dolo popping the ultimate. Doesn't have the damage though, and will fall to something stinks.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean,
yeah, just unable to keep tabs on the roaming Djox Alistar there. And this is just what we saw in game 1. You know, you finish your Moby boots and you just go roam while your Tristana with the static shift can hold her own in lane.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tristana doesn't need somebody to babysit her anymore. She's already 3-0. She can probably 1v1 Varus. I mean, Varus is also going late first item.
Oh, Djox fails the combo, wastes his flash, brings out the cowbell as a sign of respect. Or disrespect, whatever you want to look
Good
at it.
poke from Ryze.
Yeah, Ryze doing relatively well, looking to perhaps get a Rod of Ages, or the Abyssal Mask is the build right now.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
The Abyssal Mask is interesting. I probably would have gone Rod of Ages, but
Yeah, you're really looking at Swear's. She was level 18 to be one of the main carries this game. Going to be needing to deal a lot of damage.
yeah.
But you also can't deal damage if you're dead.
That's very true. You know, I think on the plus side, you know, they have a comp that's very good at peeling. You know, with the Black Shield, the Rammus.
Yeah, so although they picked that immobile Varus early, they should be able to protect him somewhat well. If he has his flash available, won't be able to get caught up in the Cataclysm.
Yeah. The only problem is that, you know, Blade first item doesn't give him a lot of damage. So, you know, you could protect him, but if he's not really putting out the damage, then, you know, is it really a effective strategy?
Yeah, and I think he pretty much was forced to go to Blade the first item, because when you're this far behind, you can't go for that Ginsu's early on. It's just too difficult.
You can't go what?
You can't go for that Ginsu's Rage Blade. It's just too much gold and too inefficient with the components.
I definitely wouldn't build it first, but I actually think maybe going Shiv first item would have been a little better.
Safer for the wave clear at least.
Yeah, for the wave clear, and then IE or something like that.
Just more of a standard AD carry build.
Yeah, and then maybe get Gensu's like third item.
Looks like Dolo Gang here is going to be moving on to this Mountain Drake though. Ping's coming down from still Fire Chickens, but will they get there in time? The ultimate comes out from Trig. Great binding onto Djox to keep him out of the fight. Looks like Dragon is almost down. Oh, but Jadkens a little bit too late. Will bring the ultimate down. Cataclysm comes out, but Jadkens is getting destroyed in his own pit. Will fall.
Getting melted.
Barrier comes from Trig here. Something stinks on the retreat.
Right now.
Ooh, good dodge from Swear. She was level 18 there. Djox goes back in. Gets the knock up and the stun onto Trig, but he's by himself. And the flash in from Gench will take down Silvermane. Ooh, something stinks falls as well. Oh, the ultimate coming out here. But Shanabot able to get out. But great fight.
Very good fight, especially they were behind.
Yeah, in the end, a 2 for 4 in favor of Dolo Gang.
Yeah, Rammus doing a lot of work that fight. Really good engage, good flash taunt on the Talia, and kind of staying alive long enough for the Rennick to come in and stun the Darius.
And like we mentioned, a lot of attack damage on the side of Fire Chickens. The Darius, the Jarvan, and the Tristana. And this Rammus has Ninja Tab Eyes and almost a Thornmail.
Yeah. That was a really funny auto.
Yeah. So the
Did you see
Bork,
that?
yeah, I saw the one that flew like really far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the Bork finally finished on the side of Trig here. He was actually doing a decent amount of damage. Djox doing a bit of a move here. Yeah, you could see him in the pit with the Cataclysm with Jarvan there, actually dealing a pretty decent amount of damage.
Yeah.
Rift Herald started up, but Gench is going to spot it out. Too late, though. Picked up on the side of Fire Chickens, but he goes in anyway. 1v4 here, like a true hero.
So much damage on that.
The teleport coming out from Mr. Solo Dolo, actually forcing them out of the pit. The young Dolo... Oh, Something Stinks picks up Gench. The entire team has arrived from Dolo Gang here, and they will pick up Something Stinks on the back foot.
That was a good engage on Rammus's part, though. Burning the flash of D-Jox, you know, to try to get out of the pit, but yeah, I was surprised he was alive for such a long time.
Yeah, they had time to channel the entire teleport from Mr. Solo Dolo, and the rest of the team collapsed as well.
Yeah.
So now forcing top lane, trying to take down this outer turret, but Jadkens waiting on the wings, does have the Cataclysm available. Goes in on Trig and almost completely 1-0s him. Trig running, but will get killed by D-Jox. Shanabot jumping on top of Mr. Solo Dolo. Yeah, able to take him down as well.
I think another part is, you know, I think we kind of saw a little bit of this last game, is Fire Chickens is grouping a lot more frequently than Dolo Gang, and they're kind of getting picked out. We saw last game too with the Xayah Rakan combo kind of getting caught out in the top lane.
Yeah, Fire Chicken's choosing to move 2 or 3 members together at a time. Meanwhile, catching out 1 or 2 members of Solo Dolo. What's their name? Dolo Gang. Here we go.
Dolo Gang, yep.
I get confused because there's Mr. Solo Dolo and the young Dolo on Dolo Gang. But keep in mind, Ryze is still scaling, so definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with in this mid game. 1-0-3 currently.
Definitely, and he hasn't even started building really some of the you know, his core items. I think once he gets a Void Staff, he's really going to be hurting.
Rift Herald coming out in the mid lane here, looking for this outer turret. Oh, the Talia ultimate as well, so putting everything into this mid tower. Yeah, will fall here. D-Jox goes in, gets a knock up on Ryze. Ultimate
And
comes out from Trig to catch Something Stinks, but Something Stinks taunted up here in the middle of the team fight, not going to be able to do anything. Falls to Mr. Solo Dolo, but meanwhile, able to pick up the Ryze as well, and oh, Trig caught out here, will fall.
Seems like he went the other way.
Ooh, Gench makes it out here. Ooh, great turn.
Really nice combo
from Mr. Solo Dolo. Jadkens very low.
Yeah.
And Mr. Solo Dolo about 100 health, gonna jump back in, will fall. That was a questionable re-engage there from him, but not too bad of a fight, taking out Shanabot.
Not too
3
bad
for
at
2
all.
in the end.
Yeah. I think Trig, it looked like he kind of went the other way. Like most of Dolo Gang went up through that, you know, around the side of around the Wolves wall, where he kind of went up with them. Maybe some just target focus wasn't really planned as well.
Yeah, definitely going to be looking to try and keep Trig safer in the upcoming fights. He still only has the board completed, so not dealing as much damage as he would like compared to the 3-item Tristana.
Definitely, and she has IE already, and a Last Whisper. She's going to be kind of putting out that damage on the Rammus.
Yeah, she's massively ahead compared to Trig at the moment.
What's the, what time are you at?
40, 41, 42. Where are you at?
I'm a little bit behind.
Okay.
Say it again. 46, 7?
50, or 50, 51, 52. Ooh, a great amount of damage coming onto Shanabot there from Ryze. Oh, will flash. Oh, Shanabot barely gets out. Everything used there. Oh, that's a tilter. The flash from both Gench and swear she was level 18 used there.
Yeah, if the Black Shield would have came out on Rammus like a moment before he flashed, maybe some miscoordination or wasn't planning on going in. But they do. I think they do pick up the drag here.
Actually,
Oh,
pressuring the mid lane on the side of Fire Chickens. But it looks like they will be able to catch the wave while Gensh and Young Dolo work on this dragon. Yeah, but that was a massive amount of damage coming out from Surge, who was level 18. And Gensh here will secure it, but at what cost? Shanabot now hammering away at him. Ooh, great black shield to stop Solo Dolo from getting knocked up there. And yeah, and all in all, a clean dragon take for Dolo Gang there, an Ocean Dragon.
Yeah, I think that's gonna play very well into their comp.
Yeah, especially Rai is going to be looking for as much mana regen as possible to get these combos out. Looks like Baron Vision coming out from Fire Chickens here, just trying to secure the area. A big problem we saw from Dolo Gang in the last game was a lack of vision control.
Yeah.
And once again, no pink wards in their inventories. Wow, look at that damage. This Rise is really scaling.
Really scaling. He just finished Seraph's, which is awesome at 25.
Yeah, that's a huge power spike.
Yeah, doesn't have boots yet. Honestly, I'm kind of wondering what he's gonna get. Probably, I'd imagine either this Tab Eyes wouldn't be a bad buy, but Lucidity might be pretty good too.
Yeah, maybe Tab Eyes into this heavy AD comp. The Merc's also pretty good against the CC they have though.
They don't really have too much CC.
Yeah, basically just the Alistar stun and the...
Yeah.
So maybe not much.
And they don't really have that much, if he goes Lucidity, which I think was a good buy, but...
Yeah, he'll be able to get those combos out faster. Just trying to deal as much damage as he can in these fights.
Yeah.
Looks like he'll be heading for possibly the Zanyas or the Banshees next as well.
Might even be going Morello's if he
Oh,
wants
that's
that
possible. Although Zanya's really good on Rise because of the ultimate, able to use that to get out of any bad situations. Was it the combo?
True. Very true.
Dolo Gang actually stepping up their vision game a bit here, keeping tabs on this Baron. You can see a couple of pink wards.
Yep. Both top laners have their telly right now, so they're kind of in the bot lane, doing their own thing.
And you can see Mr. Solo Dolo is actually ahead in items now of Something Stinks. Has the Thornmail and the Black Cleaver completed.
Yep.
Looks like there might be a fight breaking out around this red buff. Gensh, not aware the enemy team is waiting there. Does see Shanabot, and the red buff will be started up. Yeah, that'll be handed right over to Shanabot.
I will say Solo Dolo has been doing a really good job. He was kind of behind in that early game.
Oh no, Trig caught out here. Oh, Cataclysm comes out. We'll make it out with the barrier though. Something Stinks kills Morgana, but Trig here just dealing damage in the backside. The Rise still alive as well. Shanabot flashing in. Does find the kill, but... Ooh, there comes the kill on the Shanabot. The remaining members of Fire Chicken's extremely low. What will Gensh and Swears be able to pick up here? Ooh, the kill coming out onto Darius as well. But in the end, they lose Gensh.
Yeah, Trig face checking was interesting. Because you can kind of tell, like, none of the other teammates really wanted to walk in there.
Yeah, he just immediately gets comboed by the Alistar. It's amazing he lived as long as he did.
Yeah, he had to flash barrier just to get out.
Yeah, once again, his Summoner spell's going to be on cooldown. And the Ardent Sensor from Morgana going to be huge on him here.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe it was a misclick. Not too sure, but either way, he's 1-5-6. So you know, I'm hoping he goes Rageblade next. I think he really does need that damage to kind of be effective because right now it's really, like, honestly, Rammus and
Rise here
as well. And Rise, and Rise as well that are putting out the damage.
Yeah, kind of putting Varus on their back here in the early parts and the mid part of this game.
Yeah. Rise going for that Morello's. I think that's a really good buy. Kind of get the CDR. You get the mana as well.
Yeah, he's going to get to max CDR at this point. Once he finishes that item.
Definitely. I think it would have been a little better as a instead of Seraph's, in my opinion, just because I think Morello's has a lot of early game pressure, but the CDR is a good buy. You know, we'll see how it goes.
Dolo gang once again resetting their Baron vision, clearing out some pink wards on the side of Fire Chickens here, but Shanabot once again on this Tristana becoming a real threat.
Yeah, and we saw this last game too. She, you know, once she's ahead, she gets ahead.
Yeah, at this point, Something Stink's not really going to be able to solo kill Mr. Solo Dolo. Just a little bit too tanky with that armor. They will lose the mid lane turret though. Good pressure coming out.
I think they're rotating to that.
Yeah, looks like they're going to go for the second tier bot turret. Mr. Solo Dolo unable to help.
I will say, Fire Chickens is doing a much better job of rotating.
Ooh, engage here coming out. Gensh looking for the taunt on Shanabot, won't find it. Mr. Solo Dolo flashes in, but is pushed out. Ooh, good kill coming out from Rise there onto the Darius though. Still dealing his damage. Ultimate comes out from Young Dolo. Cataclysm from Jadkens onto Trig, but Trig kills him. And then Djoxter taking the brunt of the damage, and Shanabot forced to retreat. Ooh, Swear Shoes level 18 uses the ultimate. Will come in behind. Gensh very low. And they will get the kill into Shanabot. Trig here, 1v2. Wisely chooses not to go in. Actually, yeah, he will not follow in for that. So at the end there, 2 for 2. Renekton choosing to back off during the fight.
Or 3 for 3.
Oh, 3 for 3. Yep, there you go. And
Really,
you can see there.
Really good.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, it was interesting because the engage on Dolo gang it seemed like it kind of was messed up. I mean, the Renekton flashed to stun, but got ultied away by the Tristana ulti. Rammus, you know, tried to flash the wall and missed, and couldn't get the taunt.
Yeah.
But they kept going for it, and it turned out to be, you know, not too bad. So I think if they manage to pull that off again and execute it properly, I think it could go really well in their favor.
Yeah, and once again, these fights going on the back of Swear Shoes level 18, Rise is dealing massive damage to all members of Fire Chickens.
Yeah, and the 2 Flux, I think it's called Flux, his E, hits all the members, and then a Q is just so devastating.
Yeah, I mean, you said it in Champion Select, a good Rise player is extremely difficult to deal with, especially moving into the late game. So we're going to have to see how he's able to keep up this damage in team fights.
Yep. And now he's getting, I wonder if he's getting a Void Staff.
Yeah, there is some MR, but not a huge amount on the side of Fire Chickens.
Yeah.
Mostly armor.
Mostly, almost everybody has armor.
Other than that, well, he might not really a Rylai's wouldn't be a good pick, I don't think.
I actually think Rylos would be a great pick.
Ooh, Gensh caught out here. Yeah, 1v5 here, but we have the teleport coming. Oh, Tristana pushes him over the wall, and he will leave safety.
I got that finish.
Mr. Solo Dolo finishes his teleport though. Looks like they want the fight. Silvermane here cuts off the fight, and Solo Dolo just caught on his own. Well, they will pick off Silvermane though. Ooh, Cataclysm comes out onto Trig, but he does flash it. This time he's able to deal some more damage. Ooh, the Darius ultimate comes out and will kill Rise.
So much damage, but just not enough to actually...
Shanabot flashing in here. Ooh, Djox actually jumping the wall and killing Trig. Great play from Djox to finish off the AD carry. Djox on a killing spree. Yeah, that's probably going to be the winner. I really would have liked to see Mr. Solodolo cancel his teleport there.
Yeah, I think it was a good idea, but I think it was a bad position. You know, once Rammus
was pushed over that wall. Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard for him to get back into the fight, and then Mr. Solodolo ended up 3v1 before the fight even really broke down.
So they lose the mid inhibitor here. Looks like eyes are on Baron on the side of Fire Chickens, and they will begin the Baron. So response needed from Dolo gang here, but Mr. Solodolo farming bot lane.
Interesting. Maybe I don't think they can contest.
Yeah, at this point, it'd be pretty difficult to contest.
Yeah.
There are only 3 members though, so Jadkins had to go pretty low. Either way, Baron goes over to Fire Chickens here, as well as the mid inhibitor.
Things not looking too good for Dolo gang.
Yeah, you can see Trig working on that Ginsu's like we said, but still gonna have some time before he's able to complete that item.
And the other thing to note, Ginsu's really becomes effective when you can really get those autos off and stack the Ginsu's, the passive. If he's not really able to do that, or if he's kind of blown up too fast, you know, is it gold efficient?
Yeah, especially with this Cataclysm coming out on him every fight, and his flash not being available for some of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Just gonna be difficult.
Jarvan's building full AD. He does not have any tank items yet. I don't know what his last item is, but he has an elixir.
Ooh, Djox here looking for the engage. Solo Dolo and Gensh gonna be protecting their carries though. And with this Baron buff, it looks like Fire Chickens are eyeing this bottom inhibitor.
And Shaunaba is feeling really comfortable. She's just jumping into these situations. You know, I think she's confident that she can really burst down almost anybody.
Yeah, at this point, you kind of have to stall and wait for Trig to finish his next item. It's going to be very difficult to win these fights without his damage.
Yeah. He is 13 off. I don't think he has it yet. I don't know how much Ginsu's actually cost.
Yeah, with that blasting wand, it actually becomes pretty difficult and sometimes inefficient for the Varus to buy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he does have some AP scaling, but...
Ooh, a lot of damage coming out here onto Djox. Redemption's coming out. The blinding lands on Shaunaba.
Good binding, but...
Solo Dolo jumps in, but he's by himself in the back line. Meanwhile, Gensh and Rise on this Darius will take him down. Silvermane on the side of the fight here, but Solo Dolo falls as well. And the Jadkens comes in with the Cataclysm.
Getting two people into it.
And once again, Trig with nowhere to go. So it will be a 4-for-1 in favor of Fire Chickens here, who have the Baron buff still. They might be looking to end the game. Ooh, the force to flash out of Rise, and they will take him down, and that should be game. Yeah, gonna move straight onto these Nexus turrets. It's a good effort here on the side of Dolo gang, but the AD carry just put way too far behind.
I think they did a much better job in kind of holding their own and taking advantage of some of the situations that they had.
Yeah, I definitely
definitely a better showing than the game one.
I'm curious to see how much damage this Rise did. So Rise dealing the most on his team, 23.6k. Second most in the game after Shaunaba on the Tristana. But yeah, all in all, a pretty good showing by the damage numbers you can see here. Much better than the Kha'Zix that they used in game one on the side of Dolo gang.
Mm-hmm. I think Rammus was much more effective this game. I think they just had a hard time getting to the Tristana, and I think Mr. Solo Dolo kind of jumped in offensively when he probably should have been peeling a little more. You know, they caught in that last fight, they caught the Darius out, and I think Mr. Solo was trying to go on the Tristana. Maybe it was a communication error. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah.
Yeah, in this meta, front-to-back team fighting is usually most effective. Kind of keeping your tanks right in front of your carries and peeling for them as the fight goes on, rather than sending them to the back like that. So maybe some team fight practice that needs to come in for Dolo gang, but all in all, a much better showing than game one.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see if we can get some interviews.
Yeah. I'm going to try to... Maybe Jadkens would be up because I have him on my list somewhere.
Yeah, so let's ask this Jadkens.
And then...
So for those of us, or anyone who wasn't here for the entire series, we just had Fire Chickens taking down Dolo gang 2-0 in a pretty good series. Really good fighting from Dolo gang, especially in game 2. but Fire Chicken's team fighting just coming out on top and able to win that one out.
Yeah, and I think the macro too, the Fire Chickens rotated, had some really good rotations, kind of taking advantage of the map and really moving to the towers a little bit faster than the Dolo gang was able to, and I think that gave them the advantage.
All right, with that said, it looks like Jadkens is ready in the interview lounge. Should we go ahead and hop in there?
Let's bring him in here.
Ooh, how do you do that?
Let me see if I can do it.
Do we have permission? I don't...
I'm like trying to find all these rooms. Where is he? No. All right, let's go to the interview lounge.
We're gonna hop in the interview lounge and get Jadkens' take on these games. Hey, Jadkens, you here?
Yeah, dude. What's up?
All right, so let's start with game one. You were playing the Sejuani into the Kazakhs. How were you able to keep tabs on him?
I had a feeling that Kazakhs clears faster than Sejuani, and so what I decided to do was I just went with the double buffs instead. Rift Scholar, because I know for a fact if Kazakh gets ahead, he gets out of control. So I try to like get as much vision as I can, and let my top laner be safe, because I felt like they were gonna try something top lane. And
Definitely.
pretty much after that, once I saw him and saw his CS numbers, we can pretty much track whatever camp he's gonna do next.
What was your thoughts kind of going into the game? Were you trying to focus on a particular lane, or did you just kind of think, just let me play this kind of how the game rolls out?
Well, our thought process was, since we had the Tristana and Corki, we wanted to, if we can like buy time, it would be great, because 80 carry scale with items type of deal.
Yeah.
So like if the longer the game goes on, they get their spiked items and all that stuff. Like it'll be great for us. So our game plan was just stall the game out as much as we can and become a team fight monster later in the game.
Yeah,
And,
I think that certainly worked for you guys.
So you were able to kind of match his ganks pretty much in a lot of counter gank situations there. So and your warding overall was also a lot more noticeable than Dolo gangs. How were you guys able to keep up your vision and counter gank him so well?
It's a team effort thing. Every time our laners pushed up or whatever, and I play according to that, because every time I feel like my laners are in trouble or like at least exposed to gank, I would be on that side of the map and put vision there, and if you don't see the jungler there, then we can assume that he's on the other side of the map type of deal. And we just kept doing the whole seesaw effect, like if my one lane's pushing, I'm over there, and if another lane's pulling, I avoid that side, and whenever a lane's push, I just match it, and just to give them a little bit of coverage.
Yeah, interesting. Question we were talking about earlier. How long have you guys been playing as a team for?
Some of my players I've played for years now. Something Stinks,
wow.
for example. I played with them since season 2. So our jungle and top synergy has been, it's pretty much second nature at this point.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite a while.
Yeah. Other players, mainly DJ and Shauna, I just recently met them last season, and we've been working a synergy there, here and there.
Yeah.
But most of the rosters on my team, we all know. Like I at least know all of them at one point or another, and I say most of them I know them for at least a year or two now. So like.
Wow, that's crazy.
I
thought we were around for a while. But...
Yeah, but people have been playing since season 2.
Yeah.
I got one more question for you, Jadkens. So
Sure.
in game 2 there, you saw the Varus first pick there, and immediately you guys were able to pick up that Jarvan, and just over and over throughout that game, lock down the immobile carry. Was that pretty much your game plan going in with the Jarvan?
We pretty much wanted to match, because like after they banned Ezreal, we realized they're not really gonna try anything new, so we just decided to match the bans until they decided to ban Sejuani, and then when we saw the Jarvan being left up, we're like, all right, so we can pick him, and he can either be flexed or mid if we do have that type of situation, but So, and then we did our scouting reports and stuff like that. We found out that he does like to play immobile carry, so the Jarvan would be a good pickup for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely coming through there. Like, you got his flash every time, either that or if you didn't have his flash up, you guys were just able to quickly kill him. So,
Yeah.
putting him really far behind that game. Do you have any more questions, Vert?
No. Everything I asked, you answered.
All right, well, congratulations for taking this victory over Dolo Gang. Two pretty hard-fought games there, especially against that Rise in Game 2. But all in all, great victory. So congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no
Thank you
problem.
for the interview.
All right, so that's going to conclude our stream here for Fire Chickens versus Dolo Gang. Once again, Fire Chickens taking the series 2-0 in their opening game of Season 3. So stay tuned. We have a lot more games coming up. And anything else, Vert?
No. Just thanks to the viewers, and keep checking in.
Yeah, thanks for your participation, viewers. Thanks for making this the best casted game tonight. Geo and Van doing their best, but in the end, they went down just like Dolo Gang. So
Coming up short.
yeah, coming up short. Vert here just able to constantly CC lock them, and they tilted in rage. So, so yeah, that's gonna conclude. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time.